On September 11, 2001, the Al-Qaeda terrorist group launched a systematic attack on the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center in New York City. This program is to commemorate and honor those who lost their lives on that tragic day. It is suspected that the attacks were allegedly just retaliation for the U.S. involvement in the Persian Gulf War and the U.S. continued presence in the Middle East. American airliner 767 loaded with 20,000 gallons of jet fuel crashed to the 80th to the 84th floor of the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York. The crash instantly killed hundreds of people and trapping hundreds of others on higher floors. The collision caused a massive explosion and led up to debris falling to the ground and injuring civilians. As the Twin Towers burned, Flight 77 circled over downtown Washington, D.C. and allegedly slammed into the west side of the Pentagon. It was reported that Flight 757 caused an inferno due to its jet fuel. 125 military and civilian personnel were killed in the horrifying inferno. At 7 p.m., President George Bush returned to the White House, and at 9 p.m. he addressed the country in the form of a televised message from the Oval Office saying, "The terrorist attacks can shake the foundation of American resolve." Then he gave a military response declaring that we will make no distinctions between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them. The 9/11 attacks was a terrifying event leading up to hundreds of American citizens being killed. The response from the U.S. was an excessive use of force by attacking Iraq and killing Osama bin Laden and ridding Iraq of its terrorist groups. The attackers' origins were Islamic from Saudi Arabia and several other Arab nations. The World Trade Center and the Twin Towers weren't the only place targeted by the Al-Qaeda terrorist group. 4 planes were overcome by terrorists. 2 planes hit the Twin Towers in New York, and the third was allegedly hit the west side of Pentagon military headquarters. Conspirators are saying that it wasn't a plane that hit the Pentagon. It was a missile, but it was confirmed by eyewitnesses that it was indeed a plane. After the 4th plane learned about what happened in New York, a group of passengers and flight attendants tried to make an insurgent to take over the plane, but passengers fought the 4 terrorists and suspected to invade the cockpit with a fire extinguisher. The plane flipped and was headed to the ground 500 miles per hour. The plane crashed into a field in Pennsylvania, killing everyone aboard. The plane's target was unknown, but was theorized that its target was the White House. In remembrance of all who died on that day, we say God bless.